Yes, yes, yes. Namaste, man. So yesterday, should I have a bad hair day, man? Should we do it with the hood up? Anyway, so yesterday's video, we were talking about, I was kind of riffing a little bit on the 10 pillars of success. These are the pillars that anybody that buys a book from me, I put these in there. Now, I stole this idea, this concept. None of these are mine. None of this is proprietary. This is just me taking in information, trying to compartmentalize it, trying to make it useful, trying to apply it to my life. See, I never went to college. I'm not really certified to do anything. So I've kind of had to, human beings are one of the few animals that we can just train ourselves. We can teach ourselves. And so the way I would do that is by focusing on these positive things the best I could. And usually if you see something go wrong in your life, if you're making a mistake, you can usually look at one of these 10 and see the area that you're breaking down, or that you're having problems. An example would be, where's the one, have we got to never start? Yeah, pillar number 4 was never stop learning. In other words, if you're a truck driver and you can look ahead into the future because you're always learning, thinking, looking, right? You're going to realize, man, they're coming out with autonomous driving. How's this going to affect my industry? And maybe now you can begin to make some moves for down the road instead of being a victim, right? That's, I don't know, just an example of why never stop learning could help you, because as through self-taught education, meaning you seek it out. You look, like this week I went through, when I decided to get my mind around Bitcoin, I said, okay, cool. Well, go to YouTube. There's these boring ass classes from MIT, and I feel sorry for people that have to sit through these. They're so boring. But I went through all the ones that are publicly posted on YouTube for the MIT people teaching the blockchain. And then I went from people who are like coders who understand it, who began explaining the blockchain. Well, let's start there when we were talking about Bitcoin. And I just spent a couple months. Now, that by no means makes me an expert, but it at least allows me to put some money into it with a basic understanding of what I'm doing, the possibilities of what I'm doing. And then I'm able to then go seek out experts because I know just enough to know if this guy probably knows what he's talking about. And so that's part of the process of never stop learning. We said the first 5 were, number 1, how you think is everything. It's so important. You're crucial. You're thinking, right? Number 2, decide upon your true dreams and goals. Write them down. We want to be a person. We said a life worth living is a life worth recording. So we want to document some of these things. That's what both of my books were about, was like, this was Gerald saying, hey, here's an idea. Here's a blueprint. I don't know if it's the best, but if I do this, it works. See, the Science of Getting Rich says that you can get rich with mathematical certainty. What it's saying is that if you applied yourself, and I use the most basic example would be like an S&P 500 fund. If you just took this fund and just every week or every month, however you get paid, you just put money in it. And you just did that all your life. At the end of your life, with mathematical certainty, you have a big pile of money. Well, if we start there, this is what the philosophy that we believe in the stock market, that over time, stocks, through dividends, through share buybacks, through splitting, by doubling, by appreciation, by market growth, that just starting with the basic concept that stocks, and when I say, I'm talking about quality stocks, the top 500 stocks in the stock market, not all stocks. Some stocks go to zero. We want to avoid bad stocks and buy good companies, because in good times, good stocks go up, okay? And then we want to use the bad time to either sell some stocks that we're not that sure about, but to rally around the ones that we know this company's going to be here forever. So we use downdrafts to buy things like Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, Pepsi, Walmart, McDonald's, AT&T, Verizon, like the basics, 3M, all these, like Apple, fucking Tesla, like the 500. There's probably 500 stocks in America that you only need to look about. And then maybe a subclass, if you're a trader like me, I have my speculation account, I'm trying to double, triple stocks. Those shares, well, I don't know they're going to be around. So I might sell some of those but that requires learning. Never stop learning. Number 4. So we have to study this game. If we come into this game, the goal is to study and realize that we have to do this a little bit every day, that it has to become part of our process. This is the blueprint. So we have to start with the belief that the stock market goes up, or real estate. Let's say over here in real estate, we have to believe that investing in single family homes, while it comes with risk, it's not risky, meaning it's risky not to own real estate, Like I hear people say this all the time. They're like, real estate's risky. Dude, Not real estate ain't risky. Not owning real estate is fucking risky. The riskiest thing you can do is not own real estate and not own stock market. And then third would be not own a business. So let's say you don't own a business, you don't own stocks, and you don't own real estate. You cannot get rich. It is impossible. Meaning the people who get rich in this country either own assets, buy speculative assets that appreciate, Bitcoin, penny stocks and shit that go up massive. The guys that took a shot at GameStop, they're trying to get rich fast. I'm not saying don't do that. What I try to get people to do is, well, I shouldn't say that. If you catch that, good for you. I'm just, like I said in the beginning, I'm not the most sophisticated guy. I don't have certificates. I didn't go to college. I'm not an engineer. I didn't grow up a coder. I'm not super smart. I'm just doing what I know works with mathematical certainty. And I get up every day to do it. Now, I have to apply these 10 pillars. Pillar number 1, how you think is everything. Pillar number 2, decide upon your true dreams and goals. Write them down. Part of the philosophy. Yes, I believe in the stock market. Yes, I believe in real estate. So yes, every day I'm going to learn more, right? I'm going to write down goals for achieving in the stock market. I want $1 million in stocks. I want to own 10 houses, right? I want to start a business. I want to have a successful business. I want to expand my business. I want to grow my business. I want 2 restaurants, 3 restaurants, 5 restaurants, to where I write that shit down and I begin to talk about it by holding thought and formless substance, and to the point where like you actually can see the fucking locations. It's on a corner and there's cars coming by. Like you can see that shit just clear. It's just clear. Man, I know the lady's name is going to work in the front because I've held this thought about it. I think about all the time. If I was trading $100 million, how would I trade it? I play this game in my head all the time. If I had $1 billion fucking dollars today to invest in the stock market, what would I do? I bet you don't even know what you'd do. You're like, I don't know. Know now. See, if you know before you have the money, when you get the money, you know what to do. A lot of people get the money and they don't know what to do because they haven't put any time or thought or effort into what would I do with $10 million? How would you double $10 million? How much would you put in Bitcoin? Well, write that number down. I'd like to have $50,000 in Bitcoin by the end of this year. And you say, what if it goes zero? It goes to zero. What if it goes to 500,000? And that could just be one goal. That's one thing you're working on toward your long-term financial peace. Yeah, you're still doing your investments. Okay, cool. Put your money in your index fund. Maybe you're just buying one house every couple of years. One house, a couple years later, another house. You know what happens when a guy has 5, 6 houses on the side? That's $1 million fucking dollars barely doing anything. If you buy 6 houses, easy. It is easy to buy and own and control 6 houses, dude. I have 15 houses. Is it a pain in the ass? Yeah. Are you a lot of questions? Yeah. Is there a lot of responsibility? Yeah. Do people call you? Yeah. Guess what? People call Trump too. People call Oprah Winfrey. Like people who are successful, people who make money, people who have a lot of assets get a lot of phone calls. All of the money that you want is in the pockets, purses, wallets, checkbooks, and credit cards of other people. My renters have my money. And guess what? I know when I have 3 houses open right now. I know what that tenant should look like. Sometimes I know so well that when I meet them, I'm like, yeah, this is the guy. There's a feeling. Universal collective mind, call it what. Now, I don't do business based on some fluffy feeling. But what I'm saying is you get to feel it. You get into the money flow. I know what my customer looks like. And I'm going to serve that guy and he's going to serve me. He has my money. I want to treat the guy that has my money good. So this ain't trying to rip them off. This is trying to serve them. Through the service of other people is how you get rich, how you make money. The richest people around us serve us. And sometimes people get mad because some sports guy makes $15 million. He served 15 million people. He gave everybody $1. Well, if there's 15 million of them, if he gave me, it wasn't worth $1 of value to you. It wasn't worth $1 value to sit with your dad and fucking cheer on the team. And you're like, yeah. And then they're like, look how much money these motherfuckers make. I know, look how much happiness and joy they bring to the world. See, it's through other people. Well, that guy reaches how many millions? How many do you reach? You got 8 people around you. Okay, big fucking deal. You're not making that much money. To make more money, you have to reach more people. You have to interact with more people. If you sell cars right now, you know this to be true. You wish you had 10 people a day calling you say, hey, I'd like to buy a car, right? You wish you had 10 people calling you every day say, I'd like to buy a house. Well, God, when you're the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, a lot of people call you. Why? Because they push their intent into the universe. My cat just came running through on fire. Pillar number 3, take massive action. You want to buy one house a year. You buy one house a year, I promise you'll be rich in 15 years. You say, how can you make it? I'm assuming you complete the process. I'm consuming you go and you buy the house, fix it up, put a renter in it. Shit ain't complicated. You say, well, the risk. There's no risk. The risk is not buying the house. There's no risk. You say, okay, think on this. What if you buy the house, you get the numbers wrong, and it rents it even? You don't make no cash flow. None. How you think is everything. Always be positive. Think success. You're not success. Be aware of negative environment, negative people. Well, that could be a bad deal, or that could just be a house we own. It's going to pay us in the future. Shit, you got a free house. You say, what do you mean? Well, if enough money comes in to pay the rent, or pay the mortgage, pay the insurance, pay the taxes, and you didn't make any money, you still own the house. It's appreciating at 5% a year. $100,000 house, that's $5,000. The way I see it, you made $5,000. You're going to collect it later. Here's the thing. You didn't just make $5,000. You paid 12 payments on the mortgage. Guess what? Equity. The loan balance came down. The equity went up. The shit's on steroids. House appreciates 5%. Loans paid down. That's a spread. You keep the spread. Do you see this? House appreciates. Loans paid down, right? The spread is your money. That's the magic money. That's what makes you rich, because you're not fucking touching it. Now, this goes on year after year. Guess what happens to that spread? That spread is what makes you rich. The spread is what made you rich. Now go do this 10 times. That's one house a year, dude. I had a guy explain that to me. It wasn't Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That wasn't what put me on the money game. That wasn't what put me on to dividends, put me on to rent collection. I figured out, I bumped into a guy, and this is what he broke down to me. If you can own shit that just gives you money all the time, you're free to do a lot of things. If you just get $5,000, $6,000 every month, passive income. Now, some people, this is their entire income. I'm talking about, this is just for you. It's just $4 or $5,000. And some of you say, well, that's more than I make it work. I know, now you just doubled it. So stay at work, take this money. That's how regular average people get rich. You live below your means. You create money you don't need. See, the trick to money is having money you don't need. The moment you don't need this $4,000 or $5,000, that compression, it's the opposite. That is spread is what makes you rich. And now we get the multiplying lever of 1 house, 2 house, 3 house, 4 house, 5 house, 6 houses, all appreciating. If there's $600,000 houses, how much is that in equity? 600 fucking grand that someone else is paying down the debt on. You put 20% down to control it. Someone else is paying down the mortgage. It's appreciating. You're expanding times 6. You control the variable. 7th house, 8th house, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. I'm at 15. But I'm slow. I'm not even that smart. I didn't go to college. I don't have any trained skills. Except the skill that I taught myself. The 10 pillars of success. How you think is everything. December 2, decide upon your true dreams and goals. Number 4, take massive action. Goals are nothing without action. We got to commit every week to put money in the stock market. Every week. Every day if you can. We got to commit to it. Some of you guys say, well, I don't believe in the stock market. I don't give a fuck. I didn't ask that. You just need to start doing it. The way you believe in something, you can't believe in something you don't understand. You just do it. And you say, why would I do that if I'm focusing on real estate? Because you need equity. You need a balance sheet. You need something you can go to the fucking bank and just say, hey, look, I got this in reserve. What if you just put a little bit of money every week into the S&P 500? I didn't even say put it in a stock. Just yes, like a no fucking brainer. And a little bit in Bitcoin. Little bit. And shit, you could add bonds if you wanted. I wouldn't. Bitcoin in the market. 90-10. Just every week. Whatever number that is. When you go about your business of buying real estate, the bank looks at that and they say, oh, that's good. It's good for your credit. You could put it up as collateral. You don't even like the fucking stock market. What if you care if you lose it? Here's the point. Other people believe in it. You don't have to believe in it. Other people believe in Bitcoin. You don't have to believe in it. Now, it helps to get to it, but you're never going to get to it if you're not actually doing it. How the fuck are you going to believe in something you can't taste, touch, see, or do? So as you begin to put money just work with me. In 3 months, we can take it out. If you get there and you're like, oh, I can't take it, take the shit out. So put it in every week. Just do that. The market's in correction phase. Open a brokerage account, start putting money in. People who do things in a certain way, regardless of if they understand it or don't understand it, will get rich with mathematical certainty. This is mathematical certainty. You should always play games of mathematical certainty. Number 5, never stop learning. Number 6, be persistent and work hard. Success is a marathon, not a sprint. Never give up. Work 8 days a week. We covered this last time. I'm going to stop here. This is 15 minutes. I can get carried away. It's going to take me a while to get through the 10 pillars of success. I'm going to keep going forward, coming back, and we'll get through them. God bless.